with real estate, as you know, there's a lot of paperwork and there's things that you need to have your lawyer look at, and the wording and the logistics and so on. So I'm pretty good with that. I really like the idea of real estate because, I'm sure you've heard, don't wait to buy real estate and wait.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's really true.
Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, and this is the Serving Senior Podcast. This is the podcast we highlight those professionals that serve seniors at a high level. They don't just help seniors get by or help them survive. They help them thrive in retirement. And we have another one of those awesome individuals today. We have Miss Laurie Woods from Tiger Lily Real Estate. She's a real estate investor. Hey, Laurie, how are you?
Hey, Matt. So glad to be here. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Now, you may be wondering, why do we have a real estate investor on here? Well, real estate is everywhere, and it's very important, and it's very, very important to seniors. And Laurie is a senior transition specialist. Now, that is a mouthful, Laurie. So thanks for being here, and hopefully you're going to share with us what that is.
Sure. Well, I'm an investor, my husband and I, and we started our business helping people that needed to move out of their house quickly. And we would be able to get somebody out of the house as quickly as they needed to move for whatever reason, fix it up, and then sell it to another family. So we would help two families with one property. But then as time went on, we saw the need that seniors are really a niche for us, because we have a lot of our family and people that we came in contact with were seniors making a transition from home into senior living. And let's be real, the expenses are very hard to afford, and their largest asset is their house. So being in real estate, we were able to narrow into this need, and we help seniors navigate being able to transition. And we'll make a fair cash offer. We'll be able to have the house without repairs. No repairs are needed, and they don't need to clean it out. They'd only need to take what's important to them and the family, and we'll take care of the rest. So it is a service. We like to help seniors and their families, and it's really stressful when there is that time in the lives of families, especially if the adult children live out of state. Oh my God. I'll give you an example. So we lost my dad about 4 years ago, and he lived in Chicago, and we were out here in Tennessee. We just moved out here, and I don't know if I lived in Chicago or Tennessee more during that time. And it was a really stressful time, and I remember that, but we navigated it pretty well. My husband and I worked well together. And, of course, it was sad and all, but we were able to make everything flow through. We know exactly, what needs to happen when. And for our seniors, those that we are helping, we bring value to them. Even if we don't buy their house or they want to age in place, we still bring value to them. We do belong to several advocate groups, senior advocate groups like you. We're in the same groups. And it's really great to be able to network with those people, because when we see that there is a need in the lives of these seniors that we come in contact with, we're able to connect them with the right people.
Sure. Now, you said maybe give us some background. People kind of like to know who's talking and where they are and where they're from, those type of things. That you said Chicago, so you like Bears, Cubs, White Sox, don't care?
Oh yeah. Well, we're a house divided, so the boys like the White Sox and the girls are the Cubs.
So, gotcha.
Yeah, when they play each other, somebody's happy, somebody's not, but that's okay. Man. It's always in good fun anyway.
That's so cool. And the Bears, Bulls, don't care?
You know what? Since we moved out here, we're not following them anymore. My husband is more a Titans fan and a Preds fan. Gotcha. So that's kind of the direction that we're in these days. So all of our swag and everything for Chicago is with our kids that live in Chicago right now. So
Okay, so
they were
it's,
happy to get it all.
so Nashville doesn't have a baseball team, so it's still Cubs and
Right.
White Sox, huh? So now
That's
Nashville
right.
wants a baseball team though, so will he switch over?
Yeah, I think you will,
Switch
for
over.
sure. Yes.
That's awesome. Maybe take us back to before this, like what was your previous career? What did you do before you got into real estate and helping seniors?
Sure. Well, I worked for a utility contractor and I was in compliance. So Department of Transportation, the guys that do the work overhead and underground for the electrical lines, and also the guys that do the boring for gas and for drilling electric and
Gotcha.
stuff too. So I would qualify them to do their job and to be on the road and keep them on the road. So
Okay.
I know basically compliance. And so with real estate, as you know, there's a lot of paperwork and there's things that you need to have your lawyer look at and the wording and the logistics and so on. So I'm pretty good with that. I really like the idea of real estate because, you know, I'm sure you've heard, don't wait to buy real estate and wait.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's really true.
Yeah.
But what's really important though is that it's important to plan ahead before there's a crisis, and that's when everything is calm, the waters are calm, then nobody, you know, gets mad at each other.
Right.
It's really important to um, keep that in mind. And since I've gone through it with my own family, I know of people that I come in contact with professionally, and we all do. We all
Mhm.
either have lived it professionally or personally, or know someone that has.
Yeah.
Seniors, you know, at this point are touching everybody's lives.
Mhm.
And if it's not in your independent, you know, in your initial family, then you know someone.
Yeah.
And senior living is, you know, they can't build enough senior living communities.
Sure.
And I see that is really important for our baby boomers. I'm the last year of the baby boom generation, so I want to help my generation and my
Mhm.
parents' generation. I'm kind of like in that sweet
Oh,
spot.
that's awesome.
So it's really important to me that we do that. And like I had mentioned earlier, the value that we'd like to leave people
Sure.
is there's elder law attorneys. Elder law attorneys are, they're like a step above of just a regular lawyer. They really have a higher fiduciary requirement, and they're very trustworthy, but they're hard to come by. There's not too many of
Mhm.
them, but I do know a couple of them that are trustworthy.
Okay.
Estate planners, Medicare, Medicaid assistants and professionals, senior care placement agents. They're like real estate agents for senior living,
Oh,
and they're very
nice.
good. I know several of those.
Okay.
Military and veteran benefits, those people are very savvy with what is going to qualify veterans for benefits and their spouses.
Yeah.
And then moving companies. There's great moving companies out there that will pack you up, move you, and unpack. And
Wow.
my mom had a great
Sign me up for that.
Yes. My mom had a great experience just recently. So my mom's 84, God love her. And so she moved out here a couple of years ago. And so she just moved recently into a senior community. And they this company had this service for her. It was the easiest move ever. And for us working with seniors, that would be something that we could negotiate, that I would be happy to pay for your move
Yeah.
if we would be able to work out a deal. And that's just one of the things that we do to help alleviate the stress.
Wow.
So you don't have to clean out the house, do any repairs, and we take care of the rest.
That's
So
so cool.
we like to say that, you know, we'd like to say that the home equity can be turned into senior care. So if you have equity in your home, that is something that we can work with. And we do creative financing too. There's a lot of times where perhaps you need money up front, not the whole thing, but money up front, and then we could pay the balance over a period of months. That would help with taxes.
Makes sense.
And it's really important that you can plan ahead, and we'd be glad to talk with the adult children and answer any questions that you have.
That makes sense. That's awesome. Well, I think I already know the answer, but maybe share with me, what are your superpowers? Maybe what are your unique qualities that kind of help you stand out in this crowded real estate market so you can help seniors at a higher level?
Well, what we like to do is learn about their situation. So one of the first ladies that we had helped, I just sat down with her and I said, how did we get in this situation? And then she told me her story, and learning about how she got into this situation. It takes a long time to get, unfortunately, into a situation. You don't even realize it's kind of like a slow boil.
Right.
Sometimes for people. Sometimes it happens fast. It could be one fall and then the senior is not able to go back home. That's an issue as well. But I just listen, try to meet them where they're at and give them value. And when they're ready to move, then we're there for them. What makes me, special and to stand out is being a real estate investor. I am savvy on knowing what the repairs are in the house. So I'm able to give accurate numbers to determine and calculate what our cash offer would be.
Got it.
And my husband, Frank, is a general contractor. So we're able to get in there, do the work with our contractors fast and turn it over and either keep it if it makes sense for us, if the numbers make sense to, or we'll sell it to another family. So we do like to help as many families as we can. And usually that's the case, is that we're able to get somebody out quickly, fix it up, and then get somebody else in there as quick as we can.
That's cool. Well, based on your background of compliance, I would think your superpower would be GSD, right? Getting stuff done. Sounds like
yes. I mean, I really do.
This is a G-rated podcast, or I could have used other terms, right? But it sounds like you get stuff done, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, we do. And my husband's a program manager, project manager
awesome.
for years and years. So that is his thing.
Okay.
And it's kind of brushed off on me too. And I'm a checklist person. So I work really well with checklists and with following up. So I feel that has served me well.
That's awesome. Well. Okay, fantastic. Well, maybe share, Laurie, if you have any resources, like when you meet someone and you're going through, you may be able to help them, you may not, but I'm sure you always, like you said, add value. So do you have any resources that you share with people to help them out?
I do. So we have this book that we worked with the author, and it's called Paying for Long-Term Care.
Oh, nice.
And this is my husband, Frank. This is my mom.
Oh, that's so
I tell her
cool.
she's a cover model now.
Hi, Mom.
She's a supermodel.
And
so what this does is it gives you options for paying for long-term care. Nice. So that's going into senior independent living or senior independent and assisted living or memory care. Okay. But the point is that to pay for any level of care, you do need to find out what your assets are going to do for you. And so your largest asset is your home, but there are also other avenues that perhaps you're not aware of. So if the senior or the spouse is a veteran, oh, nice. Then maybe benefits available to them. That's one way. Also a reverse mortgage. I know that some people may or may not be aware of that, but it may fit the situation. Yeah. And I know that's your business and you're very well spoken about it. And I think that people should find out all of their options. Yeah. And so this book lists those things. And if there's any questions, then certainly we can help out with that. To get their free copy, we could put it in the context of this podcast, but you could get it by going to seniortransitiontn.com. Okay. And you could get a free ebook. Nice. Okay. That's great. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Just fill out your information. Yeah. That's so cool. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for saying that. Laurie, anything else or other services that you recommend? Let's see. So I don't think so. I'm just looking at my notes here to see if there's anything else that we left off, and I don't think so. We certainly just like to help those that are in need And I just can't stress enough to plan ahead,
Got it.
plan ahead, plan ahead.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Laurie, do you have it? Maybe give like whether you have a specific example you could share, or maybe like a quote unquote avatar that you could maybe, as people are out listening to this podcast, what would be a good referral for you? Meaning also the flip side would be, what would be the type of person you can help the best and help them have a great experience?
Sure. If there is an adult child that is out of state and they come in because mom or dad is in the hospital and they're not able to go safely back home, they are going to have to go into either independent living, or most likely it's assisted living or memory care, because they've either had a recent fall or surgery, and it's not safe for them to go back home, and the family lives out of state. That would be the ideal family that we would be able to help, because the adult children are not going to be able to fix up the house. They don't live nearby, and we would be able to help with that. They can just be concerned with getting their parent into the care that they need, and we can help with that as well. We have placement agents that I can refer them to, and I do know the directors of the communities as well, those senior communities.
Nice.
But the family is in that situation. We would be able to help them quickly, be able to make an all-fair cash offer on their house. They would only need to take out what they need from the home, which is not much, because if they're going to senior living, they're not going to have a lot of space. So they can leave what they don't want. No repairs are needed in the house. Okay. So the family, the adult children, do not have to worry about hiring a contractor and waiting and so on. No clean out, no repairs. And we take care of the rest. And usually we can close 30 days or less. We've done it in 14 days at Christmas.
Okay.
We found a lady on December 19th, and she was in a foreclosure situation.
Oh my gosh. Where did she live? What road was she on? Do you remember?
This was in Gallatin. So
Miracle on 34th Street. It was Miracle on Gallatin Street, huh? You pulled it off. A Christmas miracle.
It was in Bay Point.
Okay.
Bay Point in Gallatin, nice community near the lake. And unfortunately, she was going to be foreclosed on. It was December 19th. She was going to be foreclosed on January 4th. And we were able to preserve her credit. Nice. We were able to clean out the house. She was able to move, and she was able to get some money in her pocket as well.
Nice.
Had we not found her and made this offer and work with her, she would have been foreclosed on January 4th, and she would have had nowhere to go. Her credit would have been ruined. It would have been a mess. Oh my God. God put us together somehow, and so cool. It worked. Wow. So that's what we like to do. It's a lot of feel good, and we want to do that for as many people as we can.
That's what I've always respected about you, is you always have the seniors needs first at heart. You're all about helping people out and taking good care of them. You saved the day and Christmas, it sounds like.
Oh yeah,
that's so awesome. And then maybe not that specific scenario, but the scenario you're sharing with the out of town mom and out of town kids. That's a situation. You mentioned reverse mortgages earlier. Let's say that they came to town, analyzed the whole thing. For whatever reason, they didn't want to move mom and dad. They wanted to stay in the home.
That's sure.
You've done your analysis, and the numbers maybe work. For whatever reason, mom, dad says, I'm not leaving, right? You're going to take me out of here feet first. I'm not leaving this house. But they needed care, right? They might need someone to come in. They might need 24/7 care. That's when we could step in, Laurie, like you mentioned, and we could show them how to ethically, efficiently use the equity in their home to stay in their home. And the big thing that we do is we have all different loan options. They could do line of credits, they could do regular loans. But as far as our senior loans, it's a HECM, which is an FHA federally insured new and improved reverse mortgage, that they could get their hands on the money and they don't have to make a monthly payment. So they're not stressed on their budget by pulling money out and having to write a check every month. They could use the money. And then what's really changed, what people don't get, is that they still own the home. And whenever mom and dad pass, they can sell the house and still cash in on all the equity. So we usually only lend like 25, maybe 40% of the value of the home. If they're up in age, maybe 50%. But if they only live a couple years, there's still 45, 50% equity in the house. So the kids still get money. Everybody still gets a little bit of money at the end of it. So we're not taking anything, but really just helping them have a great experience of staying in the house. So if you ever run across that where you try to help them, it just doesn't work out, and they want to stay in the house, that would be a good contact that we'd kick it around for them. A lot of times you talk to them, we talk to them, then they weigh their options, and then we end up sending it back to you to have you sell the house, right? Because they decided they can't stay, but at least they know all their options at that point.
Well, and at whatever point, if they do decide that they can stay and they can hire somebody and they get it financially to work out, I do know some really great home healthcare companies that would be able to make that happen. Awesome. And my dad was one of those people. He did stay at home. He had cancer, unfortunately, 9 months from time he was diagnosed until he passed. And he said, if you put me in somewhere, I'm not going to, I'm going to escape.
Right. Yeah.
So some people just want to be home, and that's fine. That's their choice, and it can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen, and they can have whatever's important to them and make it work for the family.
That's so cool. That's great. Yeah. Well, thank you for all you do, and thank you for helping seniors. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's so great to see you, Matt. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here. And then, Laurie, please share with us, let's say, maybe the areas where you work in Tennessee. Yes. And then if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they reach out to you to chat with you about your services?
Yeah, so we like Sumner County. So we like Gallatin, Hendersonville, White House, Portland, and anything that is adjacent to Sumner County. Okay. Those are our sweet spots. So perfect. And then I guess we'll go anywhere in Middle Tennessee, pretty much, within, I'm sorry.
I say if they're watching this and they're not in those counties, but they like you and would love to chat with you, I bet you could find them an agent that does business like you do in their area.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I am also a real estate agent. Perfect. But I'm an investor first. So I'm an investor agent. If it makes sense for them to list it, maybe their house is pristine and they're ready to list it, that would be whatever, if that's their decision, that we could go that way too.
Okay. That's so great. That sounds good. Well, we'll put we'll add your phone number in, but if you want to say your phone number and email while I got you here on audio.
Yes. So it would be seniorcaretransitiontn.com. Okay. And the phone number is 615-551-5979. And that's for our senior care transition website. So you'll be able to see that. It's under Tiger Lily, but that is our website for capturing that information and making sure that they get their free download to the ebook.
That's great. And then we'll leave them with a cliffhanger. The next time we have you on, you'll have to explain to us what Tiger Lily is and where it came from, how you got that name.
Okay, gotcha.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being on here. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for watching the Serving Senior podcast, the podcast where we help those professionals get highlighted that help seniors not just survive retirement, but thrive in retirement. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, home of Retirement Mortgage Solutions. And we really do appreciate you checking out the Serving Seniors podcast today. Now, please go to the description down in the body of the podcast where you can subscribe to get future shows. Please click that notification button so you get notified when other shows drop. And also, if you can go to servingseniorspodcast.com, and we'd love to hear a comment about our show. We have a heart to serve seniors, and we have a heart to make sure seniors don't just survive retirement, don't just get by in retirement. We want to show seniors how to thrive in retirement. So if you know of anyone that's 55 and older that could use some extra cash flow, maybe the retirement's not going the way that they like, our retirement mortgage solutions are designed for folks, depending on the state, they're either 55 or 62 and older, to make sure that they have that kind of retirement that they want as long as they own a home and they're in a good equity position, there could be some solutions that they may not have thought about, or maybe they've thought of and they just didn't know how they work. That's what we do. So anyone in that age group that could use some mortgage advice, my team and I would love to be able to help them. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.